Lollipop. That was what everyone called her, not because she was sweet, but because life had licked her from every angle and she still refused to melt. Her real name was Amarachi, but only her late mother ever called her that. When her mother died during childbirth, her father blamed the baby silently, and his new wife blamed her loudly. Lollipop grew up in a house where love was scarce, but insults were served hot every morning. Her stepmother, Madame Patience, who never had patience for anything, was the breadwinner. She sold fabrics, imported wigs, and controlled the house like a military commander. If she cleared her throat twice, even Lollipop's father stood up like a remote-controlled toy. And so, the girl learned it early. In this house, nobody is coming to save you. Lollipop had just turned 15 when it happened. Her father and Madame Patience packed their bags, wore matching Christmas t-shirts, and announced they were traveling to Calabar for holidays. She thought they would ask her to join them. Instead, Madame Patience dropped 5,000 naira on the table. "Manage it till we come back. If you like, don't manage it. If it finish, go and hawk pure water. After all, you are old enough." Lollipop stared at her father for help. He adjusted his glasses and muttered, "Do what your mother said." That was the first time Lollipop cried like a child who was truly alone. She watched them drive off, laughing inside the car while she stood outside holding a plastic bag of rice and misery. When the sound of the car faded, she whispered to herself, "I won't stay here again." Before midnight, she packed a nylon bag with 3 clothes, her slippers, and the little money she had saved from washing neighbors' plates. She left the house quietly. No one noticed. No one cared. The road was dark, but her future felt darker. She found a night bus headed to Lagos. That was the day Lollipop disappeared from her father's life, and began building a life of her own. The Lagos that almost swallowed her later became her playground. By the time she clocked 21, Lollipop was the chief madam of her two best friends Candy and Carrotina, 2 girls who behaved like TikTok filters made in human form. Together, the 3 of them lived life like a movie. Clubbing on weekdays. Sleeping all morning. Hooking rich men they called Odogwu. Changing wigs like seasons. Spending money they didn't work for. They were fine girls in their prime, dangerous, confident, and chaotic in the most entertaining way. When Lollipop walked into a club, even the bouncers whispered, "That girl is trouble." Candy had hips like she borrowed them from somebody's auntie. Carrotina had a tiny waist and a loud mouth that never rested. Lollipop had the brains and the boldness. Together. Volcano. One night in December, the trio entered Club Jingle Bell wearing glitter that looked like Christmas lights. They were drinking expensive champagne paid for by somebody's husband and laughing aloud like they owned the world. It was the beginning of the December that would change everything. Lagos nightlife was a living creature, loud, glittering, and full of secrets. And that night, Lollipop, Candy, and Carrotina were glowing like Christmas ornaments under the club lights. The DJ shouted, "Make some noisy for December groove." And the whole place roared. The girls sat at a round VIP table, eating barbecue fish and peppered snails like queens who owned the month of December. Carrotina was dancing like somebody who mistakenly drank energy drink mixed with drama. At a corner of the club, her boyfriend, Sagacious, arrived. Sagacious was a fine boy but broke like a fallen biscuit. He had promised Carrotina that he was trying to blow. Trying. Still trying. Never blew. Carrotina had told her friends earlier, "If Sagacious cheat on me, I will turn his destiny upside down." But destiny turned the table before she could. While she was sitting on the thighs of one rich Odogwu chief or Amiri giggling and flipping her wig, she looked up. Her eyes jammed Sagacious. And guess what? Sagacious was sitting on the lap of a sugar mummy, calling her, "Big mummy. Calm down now, you know I day for you." Carrotina froze. Sagacious froze. Both of them caught each other cheating at the same time. But instead of shouting, tearing shirt, or fighting, they both gently looked away like 2 thieves pretending they didn't see each other stealing. They simply carried on. Because nobody wanted to spoil their night of enjoyment. Carrotina didn't go home after clubbing, no, she followed her Odogwu to his hotel and enjoyed life till sunrise. When she finally returned to the girl's apartment, she kicked the door open dramatically. "I have arrived, make una stand attention." Candy hissed. Lollipop raised one eyebrow. Carrotina sat like a queen and dropped her bag filled with gifts from the night. Then she started. Girls, I saw Sagacious yesterday. Guess where? Lollipop sipped her tea. Candy smirked. Carrotina continued. That poverty-stricken man was sitting on top of one sugar mummy's refrigerator of a leg. He was just there saying big mummy this, big mummy that. Lollipop burst into laughter. Candy clapped. Ah, Sagacious Don turned fridge mechanic. Carrotina dragged her wig to the back dramatically. Imagine a whole me way get better body, better face, better packaging. And he thinks say he can play me. Lollipop replied. But you sefte sit on top Odogwu leg yesterday. So, both of you cheat each other simultaneously. Candy added. Nah draw. They all burst into loud, chaotic laughter. Carrotina waved her hand proudly. Abigai don't dump him, let him go and manage his big mummy. I need a man that can buy me a house, not someone that can only buy me heartbreak. They continued mocking Sagacious. He is broke. He is stingy. He is local. He is a photocopy of a photocopy. Their laughter filled the apartment. Lollipop shook her head with a smile. These girls were her only real family. But they had no idea. Their December was about to become a December to remember. A December with no return. Christmas was just a few nights away, and Lagos nightlife was hotter than the December sun. Lollipop, Candy, and Carrotina stepped into Club Vibration, their favorite place to scatter the night. The place smelled like perfume, sweat, money, lies, and loud music. Perfect. They sat at their VIP round table, fresh fish steaming, siwa glowing, and bottles lined like soldiers. Candy was the first to notice him. She tapped Lollipop, then Carrotina, then whispered, Girls, see that man, the albino one, inside that corner. They all turned. And there he was. A tall albino man wearing a red senator outfit, diamonds shining on his neck like Christmas lights. Two bodyguards behind him. People greeting him as if he owned the club. Carrotina blinked hard. Is that not Honorable Odogwu Pepper, the billionaire politician? Candy gasped dramatically. Yes, that's the man they said bought 4 houses in Lekki just to host parties. Lollipop's eyes widened. The 3 girls looked at him, then looked at each other, and burst into giggles. Candy whispered loudly. His skin is shining like fresh fufu. Carrotina added. See as he is glowing like a Christmas candle. Lollipop smirked. He looks like cooked egg, but girls. She leaned in. As long as he has money, I don't mind being his pepper soup. They all laughed like witches. Carrotina snapped her fingers. Lollipop, now you go follow him talk. You be our leader. Your mouth day sweet. Candy nodded eagerly. Go now, we day your back. Approach him with confidence. Lollipop took one deep, sexy breath, stood up, smoothed her short glittery gown, and walked towards the billionaire. Odogwu Pepper noticed her immediately. He smiled slow, rich, dangerous. My dear, I've been watching you. Lollipop smiled sweetly. I saw you too. My name is Lollipop, but you can call me anything. As long as you pay well. He laughed. A woman who knows what she wants. I like that. She introduced Candy and Carrotina from afar. He nodded approvingly. Then he said, Let us meet properly on Christmas night. I will send the address. Lollipop tilted her head. Just tell us the location, Odogwu. He leaned closer, voice dropping like ice. Room 666. Magnolia 5-star Hotel. Lekki. 10 p.m. Lollipop froze for a second. 666. Weird. But money is money. She nodded. We will be there. They dressed like queens going to marry a billionaire. Candy in gold, Carrotina in orange, Lollipop in deep red. They booked a very expensive cab just to look expensive and arrived at Magnolia Hotel. They called Odogwu Pepper. He picked. Come upstairs, room 666. Their heels clicked on the polished floor. The hotel felt too quiet, too empty for Christmas. Still, they climbed the stairs, found the door. The silver number 666 shone like a dare. Lollipop knocked. Slowly. The door creaked open. Odogwu Pepper stepped aside. His smile was too wide, too calm. They walked in. He closed the door behind them. Click. They turned around. He was no longer smiling. Lollipop's heart skipped. Sir, why did you lock? But that was the last question she ever asked. That night. No one saw them again. Not the hotel staff. Not their neighbors. Not the cabman. Odogwu Pepper paid all bills, walked out calmly in the morning, and left. The receptionist thought the girls had checked out quietly. But they never did. Room 666 was cleaned. Fresh sheets. Empty. And the three girls vanished from Lagos. Forever.